Man, this damn finale was insane. And Lee, I am mad at you. Let's talk about Star. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRS TV. This is your boy Kenny, and this is Star Season 3, Episode 18, and this is the season finale, and the name of this episode is When the Levee Breaks. Man, the opening scene with Miss Ruby, I just knew something was going to happen, but at first I did not know what was up. But definitely involved her saying the 23rd Psalms, and then she just flips the fuck out. So I'm like, what the hell happened here? But so that was like the opening thing that they did before the credits rolled. Then we see that it's now the ASA Awards, and I'm like, finally, because they've been doing the ASA this, ASA that, ASA luncheon, ASA Easter egg hunt, ASA Thanksgiving dinner. Like, they just been doing ASA, and I'm like, finally, the moment's here. So we pretty much, we see that Carlotta is pretty much doing the voiceover about Take 3 being at the ASAs and all that. And she was saying that Faith and Fame has a funny way of testing us. And it goes to 72 hours earlier, where they're at the red carpet at the ASAs. We see that Carlotta tries to call Rashad, and she leaves a message because he's not answering his phone. Finally, the girls show up. We see that Noah is there with his mother, Diane, and she's telling, Noah, you fought a lot of demons, and then pretty much she lets Noah know that, look, if she tries to prove that you're unfit in court, we will take her ass down, and I will fight that bitch to the nail before I let her give away Davis. So we see that this is what they're talking about on the red carpet amongst themselves. And then they show the first performance of on the ASA stage, and it's that damn Little Deanie and Rashad. So Rashad is performing, and Carlotta and them had no idea. I don't even think Cassie knew that he was there. And then all of a sudden, we see that this fool, they literally have like a church and sex type of set where here it is, you got Rashad dressed like he's a part of the Vatican, but he bumping and grinding like R. Kelly on the damn girls and shit. And I'm like, oh, this fool has lost his ever-loving mind. I think him finding out the truth about his existence is like he just completely went off the off the rails. And you hanging out with Little Deanie of all people, so he getting lit up, because that's the reason why Little Deanie's such a damn clown, because Little Deanie is always high. He always leaning. He probably got some shit in his cup, and he's always, getting high or doing whatever, because obviously that's why why can't nobody stand him, because he always geeked up all the time. And he always fucking with somebody. And then all of a sudden, like, Miss Bruce, like, saw him, doing, grinding and doing all this stuff. And we see that Little Deanie is kind of, like, on the altar, and he's getting champagne thrown on him and shit. And then, like, Miss Bruce was like, I thought you said he was a church boy. And she's like, he is. He's like, well, you sure as hell ain't acting like it. And then all of a sudden, after the performance, Carlotta runs into Rashad. He's high as a kite, Little Deanie clowning and all that. And she's like, you need to get yourself together. And she's like, well, look, he need to do what he gonna do. I mean, he grown. I mean, what are you, his mama or something? She's like, yes. And then the girls have now found out, as well as Miss Bruce, that Rashad is her son. And so now the girls know and everything. And then, and pretty much Carlotta, like, tells Rashad, like, look, you don't have to do this. You a church man. That's not you. So he pretty much says, so you mean to tell me my real daddy raped my mother? And he says, you know what? Maybe that was me on stage. It's like, what is it? I look too much like your daddy to you, and she slapped the shit out of him. And I'm like, yeah, you had that coming, Rashad, because that was a low blow. And then he kind of runs off. And then Miss Bruce is like, oh my God, Carlotta, that's your son? Um, and then pretty much the girls go to take their seats. Um, and pretty much Little Deanie is the presenter for the award for Best Pop Album. Pretty much they won, so they got up on stage and they were happy, and then all of a sudden this damn Little Deanie pulled a Steve Harvey move. And I'm like, see, everybody was running with this shit because they did this shit with Steve Harvey when he was doing Miss Universe, and they also did the same shit, at the Academy Awards when La La Land was announced for Best Picture, but the real winner was Moonlight. So it's like, it's kind of become like a trend. You get somebody up there and thinking they won, and really it was somebody else. So all of a sudden he comes. So pretty much they're about to give their speech after winning. The Little Deanie comes in and goes off stage and comes back. It's like, oh psych, we actually have a mistake. Amber actually won. So he basically kind of like humiliated them on stage and on camera, because they were just literally blindsided that here it is, we thought we won, and you mean to tell me we didn't win? And then Amber comes up there, and then we're seeing this being played on TV because Amber's thanking her manager and her this and her that. And then all of a sudden we see that old girl, remember Olivia, the psycho girl that kind of latched on to Alex and literally wants to be Alex and shit. Old girl that was trying to do all this crazy shit. Well, this crazy bitch done escaped out the psych ward. So I'm like, oh hell, this old slut she's definitely about to do some bullshit. So therefore we see that Carlotta and the girls are hanging out at the house. She's saying that, look, we just have to regroup. Everything's gonna be good. And pretty much they asked about, like, well, don't worry about us, Miss C. What's going on with you? Like, what's going on with this? And she tells him the story that she had Rashad when she was 15. And he went his whole life not knowing who his mother was. And then she says that, and this I will say in regards to Star, you can't tell a child how to feel, but at the end of the day, it's your choice as to giving up Davis for adoption. But once you make it, you can't take it back. And you can't control how your child will feel about it later down the line. But, Star's hard-headed. She ain't trying to hear that. And she also mentions that that Randall Lawson offered her a job. And they also said that, well, enough about me. Let's celebrate Alice, because Alice is getting married. And then they end up doing the Cupid Shuffle, which is cool because, the Cupid Shuffle, you always get your life when you do that. So then we see that that we get a scene with Derek and Alex. Miss Ruby has come back. She's been out of town all this time. So there was people that was wondering, like, where the hell is Miss Ruby at? Miss Ruby ain't been here for a minute. She been out of town ever since she done put Mike to night. So she's excited about the wedding. She says that, I wouldn't miss this wedding for the world. And then she tells Alex that, you came through that plane crash, and here it is, you actually were willing to stand up to that pig who raped me. I'm forever grateful for you guys. So she's excited about the wedding. And it was good to see Miss Ruby, because I love me some Miss Ruby, which is why I'm going to get on Lee in a minute, because trust me, I'm on my way there. So therefore, we see a scene with Cotton and Star, because they're about to go to court, because remember on the last episode she served Noah papers to appear in court, because she's going to prove that he's unfit to be the father of Davis because of what happened. But, Cotton pretty much tells her that, look, girl, I love you and all, but you rotten bitch for what you about to do to Noah in court. And she's like, look, I know you scared, and I know what it's like, being a new mother, with her, being the mother of Jalen. So she understands how she feels. But she's like, I know what it's like. And then, she says, yeah, you do know what it's like, Cotton. You know what it's like, that you would do anything beyond crazy to protect your child. And she's like, look, Noah is not a good parent for Davis. And this is what I'm going to prove in court. And Carlotta decides to go with her for support. And then she's saying that, Simone won't even talk to her. Because Simone wanted to take Davis, but she don't even want Simone to have him. So she feels some kind of way, like, you literally about to take this boy away from his family. But then she says that but I understand why she's mad, but the thing is, Davis needs a father who's not a drug addict, and he needs a mother that's not me. And it's crazy because at one point, she really was happy about having this child, and now things have completely changed since her life changed. So then we see Simone and Angel. Well, Simone comes in, to Angel, and she mentions that, Star is actually about to take Noah to court so she can have him down as an unfit parent, so she can give Davis up for adoption. Angel really is just kind of over it. And he's saying that, I don't know what it is, Simone. It's like, I'm always talking in circles with you. And she's like, you know what? I'm scared for you. And I'm scared for us because you're not getting this. And she's like, well, what do I have? Where do we stand? And he was like, I really don't know right now. I don't know. So then we see that Mateo comes in and lets them know that Good Morning Atlanta wants to do a sit down with Simone, and she lets Angel know that she had to go. So we see that Simone is still going to march forward and to do what she needs to do. So then we get the court hearing. Star is on the stand, and she wants Noah's rights to be terminated. And what she does is she says that she has proof of Noah's last visit with Davis and what went down. And pretty much Carlotta's like, Star, don't do it, girl. But she submits the image to the judge, which was captured from her security cameras, and then all of a sudden we see that the image is playing, and they're all watching it, and because it's on Star's phone, and Noah's watching it, and then all of a sudden Diana's like, cut it off right now, and Noah's like, no, let it play, because I needed to see what I did. And Noah pleads his case and talks about how he finished his 12 steps, give him a chance. But then the judge let it be known, if it wasn't for another party, this situation could have had a totally different story. So Noah's rights were terminated as being the father of Davis. And this definitely upset him. And I'm like, wow. Because, the thing about it, Star is mad. And she's mad to the core because I trusted you with our son, and here it is. You could have killed our son with your negligence. And I think it's a constant reminder, like, Noah, yeah, I understand you want to be in your son's life, but you have a long road ahead of you. And it ain't going to be easy. So then we get a scene with Cassie and Rashad or whatever. She's, trying to, talk to him and, trying to reason with him and everything. And, they talk about Carlotta and everything. And he's like, and you can just definitely tell he's been drinking heavy. I mean, let's be real. And I have to say shout out to Major because he's playing this role. But he literally went from being a clean church boy and now at this episode, this fool done turned into Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats and shit, like, nights like this, I wish Ray just would fall. Like, that's exactly what I'm getting from Rashad. Like, Rashad has completely fallen off the wagon. He's drinking, doing drugs. He's completely just thrown off, and I understand why. When you come to find out that you are a product of a teenage of that your father raped his teenage stepdaughter, like, yeah, that's enough to really break you down, because he's realizing, like, I was created in some mess, in some sickness, and it makes him feel like, damn, you know, here it is. I had this upbringing thinking I had these loving church parents, and to come to find out, I was the uncle who I looked up to was actually my dad, and he raped my mother. And he's like, I don't even know what to call her. Like, don't call her anything, but just know that she's your mother. So she's trying to work it out to try to get Rashad and Carlotta to start talking with each other, because it's thrown both of their worlds upside down. Then we see that after Rashad leaves, Cassie gets a visit from Xander's wife. And she's like, where the hell is my husband? And got a gun on fucking Cassie. Cassie's like, he's dead, and you will be too, bitch, if you don't get that gun out of my face. And they said they never found the body. I'm like, what are you talking about? She says, well, they found his blood at the scene, but they never found the body. So pretty much she says that either you're a great actress or you really are a stupid bitch. It's one or the other. But I got my eyes on you. And I'm like, oh, wow. So Xander's wife is on some bullshit, too. And I'm like, not surprising, because Xander was full of shit. But then it finally starts to dawn on Cassie that motherfucking Xander may still be alive. And I'm thinking, with the rise of the violence, I really do think he is. And now he's hiding, in the shadows. Because Xander's an evil bastard. Then we see that Carlotta and Miss Bruce are, like, working on Alex's wedding stuff. Randall Lawson shows up, and Miss Bruce was like, oh, hello, how are you, darling? Like, she was giving it. I love Miss Lawrence in this role. Like, I'm such a huge fan of Miss Bruce. But Miss Bruce saw Randall Lawson, because Randall Lawson is fine, y'all. Like, baby got body and everything. And she was just like, oh, okay, well, hello, how are you? Yes. Like, I see you, girl. So she sits down with Randall Lawson, and she's saying that, look, I want to take the position with you, but me and my girls are a package deal, and you need to give them that residency, because I know how great these girls are. And he's saying that, look, I'm sorry, that's not going to work, because, right now they didn't win the ASA. They didn't win their ASA, and I don't think they're a good fit. But he's like, but I still want to see you. She's like, well, I understand where you're coming from, but no. Like, I don't blame you, Carlotta. I'm like, shoot, you ain't gonna turn me down and then still think you're gonna get the goodies? Bruh. Because he was getting the goodies before she knew who he was. And remember, they met at Karma, and it wasn't until last episode that she found out who he was, that he was this billionaire who wanted to create this big residency for whoever snatched the ASA. So he was one of those people you wanted to impress because he could change your career. But, yeah, but that situation was interesting. But he says, okay, I will be seeing you, though, Carlotta. Because, like, he ain't going to give up on her. Because, obviously Carlotta got that good. Because, he definitely was like, I still want to see you. So I'm like, he loving what's going on between the sheets, baby. On that, Ron Isley type shit. So then we get the bachelor party. Star and Carlotta are talking, and she's pretty much saying, like, oh, so you're not talking to me now either? And she's like, well, no, it's not that. It's not about you. It's about Alex. And then I'm just like, there you go, Carlotta. Shut that bitch down. Like, Star, you know damn well that you just really doing the most because you're pissed, and then you're mad that everybody mad at you. I'm like, bitch, you know what you doing ain't right, but you right now in your feelings, and you don't give a damn how nobody feels. But then it's like, bitch, you at Alex's bachelor party, and you still talking about the damn court case. Like, bitch, it ain't about you right now. Sit your ass down. And we can definitely see that Simone has tension with Star, like, oh, really? Oh, it's funny that you here, since you don't really give a damn about family, and you want to give your child away and shit. And then, like, pretty much, they pretty much kind of dead that, and they said that, look, we here to have a good time, because Alex is lit. But then we also see on the other side of things, Derek is literally passed out because he done had his bachelor party. He's drunk as shit, and then all of a sudden, this fool gets blindfolded. That old crazy damn Olivia done thug baited fucking Derek and shit. And I'm like, ooh, this evil bitch. And I was like, so like, yo, Olivia is we need to kill this bitch because this bitch is just not gonna stop because she wants to be Alex. And here it is, he is like passed out, so she pretty much gave him fellatio and everything while he's blindfolded. So here it is, you know, as I said, she thug baited him. And for those of y'all who know about thug bait, y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't act like y'all don't know. Anyway, so that's what happened there. But the thing is, the girls are having a great time at their bachelorette party. You know, now that they done kind of deaded that whole situation with Star and her drama, they decided they're gonna have fun, and they just did their thing. But that song they had during the bachelorette party, that song was kind of cute. So then we get a scene with Cassie and Carlotta. Cassie has decided to leave town because she says that, you know, Xander tricked me, you know, and he's probably watching my every move, and I can no longer put my family at risk anymore. And she pretty much says that, look, weren't you the one who told me not to run away from my problems, especially this whole situation with Rashad, with Rashad? And she's like, and she also is having the same issue that Rashad is. Now that they know this, they don't know how to communicate to each other. She's like, I don't know what to say to him. I don't know what to do in regards to him. And she's like, look, just tell him you love him. You know, that's probably something that even I would want to hear sometimes. And then she pretty much says, I love you, Cass. And I'm like, I'm kind of thinking, oh my God, is something going to happen to Cassie? Y'all better not. Ooh, I was feeling some kind of way about that too. So then we get a scene with Jackson and Star. Jackson comes over to see Star. You know, of course, you know, she's given all of this hostility towards Jackson because Jackson is dating Amber and all this shit. But he pretty much lets it be known, like, I found out some information. And she's like, oh, really? What you got to tell me? She says that, well, after the show, I heard Amber and her manager arguing, and I come to find out that Amber actually fixed the vote. She promised one of the promised one of the judges her royalties to her song, so they pretty much switched the vote. You guys actually won, you know, and you know, you can definitely see in this scene that Jackson really still loves Star. And he just kind of took aback because he admitted that, look, I felt some kind of way because we were supposed to get married. You know, we were going to have a family. And then all of a sudden, everything changed. Just like that when that baby wasn't mine. So, you know, he's letting it be known that the whole time he was in the hospital, I was there every step of the way. I never abandoned you. And then he said that, look, I was wrong to tell you that, you know, I wish your son wouldn't end up like you. That was mean, and I shouldn't have said that to you. But it's obvious they still got love for each other, but he's taking this slow. But he decides that he's going to look after the baby while she goes to the wedding. Because, you know, she was getting ready for the wedding and all that. Therefore, we also get a scene between Carlotta and Alice. You know, she's getting Alice ready. Alice looks gorgeous. You know, she says that I've built more of a bond with you in 3 years than I did with my parents my entire life. You've been more of a parent to me in 3 years than they ever been to me. Yeah, because her mother's an alcoholic and her father's an asshole. And she's like, she thanks her for walking down the aisle. And then we also... Then we see that Simone and Star finally come through. They pretty much give her something old and something new. And pretty much the something old, she gave her the bracelet that she had gave the Angel, you know, that Angel had gave her when they were in the Dominican Republic. So she gave that to her for something old. And then something new, Star pulls out the ASA award to say that we actually won this bitch. Jackson found out that Amber had stiffed the vote, so we actually won. And so they had a good moment, and then they noticed that Star's dress was short, and she was like, "Girl, why is your dress short? Like your dress is supposed to be the same length as Simone's. Why is yours short?" She's like, "Shoot, you the one getting married. I'm up here trying to find me a husband." Then she starts twerking and shit. I'm like, Star's a fucking mess. And then we get the shit that made me mad. And I am pissed at Lee. Like, Lee, why did you do this shit to me? So we see that Miss Ruby is getting ready for the wedding, and Derek, she pretty much says that, when your dad died, I didn't know how I was going to raise, a young man, but, you made me one of the proudest parents in the world. And then he tells her that you're my best friend. And she says, won't you ride with me to the church? She's like, oh no, I'm going to wait for Bo. Bo's her boyfriend. Her and Bo been having a good time with each other. And as soon as he leaves out the damn door, these two dirty ass niggas who are part of the fucking Bankhead crew show up, and they pretty much saying that, oh yeah, we've been waiting for you to get back in the A. We here to make sure that Mike didn't die in vain. And I have to say, Miss Ruby is a true OG, because she did not run from them, and she stood in her shit, and she told him straight up, that motherfucker raped me. He deserved to die. And he was like, also, we know about your grandson working with the cops. And she says, if you hurt my grandson, I'm just like, and they all pull their guns on us like, calm down, grandma. It's about to end soon. And then that's when it plays back to what they opened the show with, when she starts saying the 23rd Psalm, that yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And that, thou preparest a table for me in the presence of my enemies. And after she said that line, she's like, and if you gonna shoot, bitch, do it. They lit her up. And I'm like, motherfucker, Lee, what the fuck, man? Here it is, this woman got raped by that bastard, and here I was thinking that, we was gonna get more time with Ruby, only for Ruby to get killed by the gang because she took out one of their people. And then he throws down the rag and was like, Bankhead all day. I'm like, I was mad as shit. So here it is, she gets killed before she gets to see her grandson get married. I was so fucking heated. I'm like, that made me so damn mad that he took out my girl, Miss Ruby. Because Miss Ruby was the life. And the fact that you brought her back just to kill her? Are you seriously? Seriously. I mean, hell, it's like this whole damn thing turned into like, like they gave this shit the right title, because like it was just a whole bunch of shit that happens. So it made me feel weird watching the wedding, knowing that Miss Ruby got killed before that man walked down the aisle, to marry Alex. Or you know what I mean, not him walking down the aisle per se, but before he could actually marry Alex, his grandmother gets killed. So she's dead and they have no idea. So then they pretty much show. So then we also get a scene where Noah's in the studio, Bobby comes and shows up and everything. This is another issue I had with fucking Lee too. Bobby shows up and Noah's mad because he's saying that, look, you weren't with me at the ASAs. You weren't here when I was at court. Like, what the hell is going on? I need you to be here for me. And you weren't here and blah, blah, blah. And he tells him, I have cancer. I have lymphoma. Really, Lee? Isn't that the same damn disease that Andre had on Empire? You couldn't come up with another disease for this fool? I mean, it could have been, he's having heart issues. It could be that he may have, that it could have been anything, but you're going to use lymphoma. I mean, he could have had another cancer. It could have been brain cancer, bone cancer. I mean, there are more than one. Lymphoma is not the only damn cancer. I mean, hell, you could have said he found out he has leukemia. Whatever, but you gonna say lymphoma like we just didn't watch another show where the character not only beat lymphoma, but then now was like fighting for his life, battling cancer, and you're gonna give that same damn thing to fucking Bobby? Because it was like wondering why the hell Bobby wasn't around, and it's because Bobby was seeing his doctors. But he was saying that, look, you helped me when I was down. Now it's my turn to help you. And he says that you know how we are. When we get knocked down, we get back up. So we're going to get back up and we're going to fight this, because he lets him know about, because he definitely knows about what happened between him and Star in the court. So that went down. Then you got the wedding. As I said, the wedding was beautiful, but I could not enjoy the wedding because of what happened to Miss Ruby. So I'm mad as hell at Lee that you killed my girl before the fucking wedding. So the whole wedding, I already had an eerie feeling. And then after they get married, they walk down the aisle and you see that motherfucking bankhead motherfucker is at the wedding. So they about to fucking do some shit at the wedding. And I'm like, where the fuck did these niggas come from? And I'm thinking maybe Xander is behind this shit, because remember, the Bankhead crew was working with Xander when he was when Karma first opened up. They were pretty much on standby for Cassie anytime she needed them. But Mike was like, yeah, she thinks she in charge, but she not. So they were answering the Xander's ass. So I'm thinking this is probably a clue that Xander is still around, and that Xander has now ignited the gang to retaliate. So, and it's cool that when Alice was walking down the aisle, they kind of like did a flashback of her and Derek's relationship, because they have been that couple since season 1, and they have come a long way. So it's cute to see them get married. So then afterwards, we see that they have the reception. Mateo has a meeting with Carlotta, and she was talking about, her offer with Richard Lawson, with Randall Lawson, and he's like, wow, that's amazing. He's saying that, you know what, when I first came here, I thought I knew everything about business, but you have taught me so much, and I'm gonna let you know, if you land this deal with Lawson, Gravity Media is yours. So it was cool to see that he's finally, he really is giving Carlotta her props. And I even say even more so when Giselle wanted, she wanted to have complete autonomy over the business. He said that no, when it comes down to the music, that's Carlotta's lane, and Carlotta's worked really hard, and I'm not going to let you do her like that. So, Mateo definitely earned my respect in that he was going to give Gravity Media to Carlotta, because Carlotta rightfully earned it. If it wasn't for Carlotta, Gravity Media would not have been the success that it was. She was the one that came up with the best ideas, and she made that shit happen. The problem was that Mateo don't know how to manage money. And that's where they started getting into a lot of the issues. So then we see that Noah and Star have a moment at the wedding. They pretty much talk and everything. And then we also see that Cassie, Rashad, and Carlotta are having a moment as well, because Rashad is still feeling some kind of way, and so is Carlotta. And Carlotta just says that, look, if you want a mother or a cousin, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're family. And he just feels like, oh my God, like I was a product of some mess. That this man, my father, violated my mother, and I was born out of this. Like, it's enough to really shake you down to your boots. So I get where Rashad is, and here it is, Cassie's trying to get Rashad to, like, look, you need to let this go. Well, not let it go, but you need to, face this, and you can't keep running from it. So we see that also while that's going on, Noah and Star are having a conversation and saying that, look, we need to, I know that right now I'm not in a good place, but I love my son and I want to be in his life, and, we just need to kind of like take it step by step, so, he pretty much understands why Star did what she did, and him watching that video was a reminder of how reckless he was. So it's like he's becoming more and more sane, in regards to his position and how he literally almost killed his son. And then all of a sudden, while these things are going on, you hear Bankhead all day, and then you see the gunmen and they literally shoot up the whole motherfucking wedding reception. I'm like, you like, damn, Lee, you couldn't even give them a great fucking wedding without some bullshit going on. So they done shot up the wedding. Cassie got hit. Mateo definitely looked like he's dead. So they killed Mateo. Angel gets hit as well. And we see that Alex and Derek survive, only to come to that reality that later on they're gonna find out that, Miss Ruby didn't even make it out the house, because as soon as you left, the bankhead went in there and killed her ass. And then they immediately is like, oh my god, we need to go check on Davis. So that situation woke them the fuck up. That it ain't about them, it's about that baby. And they both decide we're gonna go check on the baby. They go to check on the baby. Remember, Jackson was watching Davis. Jackson is literally unconscious and the baby's gone. Now I'm gonna let you know what probably happened to that baby. I think Diane is probably my number one suspect as to why that baby's gone. And then another person is probably Charlene, because remember, Charlene had Star jumped in prison and had her locked up. How do we know that Charlene is still, and how do we know that Charlene ain't gonna stop coming for Star? So it could be either one of the two. I think it's either Diane or Charlene that got that baby. So I'm like, that's where the shit ended, and I'm like, oh, this shit is crazy. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the season 4 premiere of Star. So until next time, everybody, take care.